Hey there. Hope you all are doing well. I wanted to share some quotes from Epictetus. Just a few that caught my eye. These are classics from him, but I hope you enjoy. He writes, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. It's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." I think that one's great. And then this last one. And I've heard similar quotes. I've actually never heard this one from him until today. "Circumstances don't make the man. They only reveal him to himself." Right? And kind of thinking about it, that quote about your mind is complicit in the provocation. There's some other Stoics or philosophers or mystics that say, right, the thing that bothers us, tells us more about ourselves than it does about what's going on over there. I remember I was with some other guys in this relaxing area of our gym, and there was just kind of this buzzing noise. And I said to one of the men that I was sitting next to, I said, isn't it wild they haven't fixed that? That's awful. And he said, "Well, what do you mean? What are you hearing?" He didn't even hear it. I mean, it was like nails on a chalkboard to me. But someone else, it didn't affect them at all. So I think that says a lot. I don't know what that says about me, right? But in that space, in any space that we're in, I think it's interesting to notice what bothers us, because we may be making a judgment about that or telling ourselves a story about what's happening. And going back to, I think, the meat and potatoes of this video, the quote, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." I think that's powerful. There's some quote, I don't know who it's by, but it's basically like, to forgive is to understand, which it's like, if someone does something terrible to us, I mean, there's a part of it where it's, what do you mean? Like, okay, they needed the money, but it's still traumatizing that they robbed me. But realizing that that's where they were, right? And they made that choice based on where they were, the options that they could see at that time, that they were in such a bad place that they chose to brutalize you to take resources. That's interesting. And so, right, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. If we just see it as, yeah, that's a person just being a person, I'm going to dodge that. Maybe that's not right for me, right? I'm not going to hang out with people who are robbing me. But to see that, really that's that person's level of functioning, and, they made that choice, and I can make other choices, but I don't have to feel rough about this. I don't need to, and the Stoics, right? Some people see them as like unfeeling. It's like just stoic, right? But the way I hear it, and most of my interpretations of Stoicism is through Ryan Holiday. I really like his work. He talks about, the Stoics will, separate the emotion, but they will take it and they'll feel all of it, so they know exactly what the emotion's doing to them, so it doesn't control them, and so they can make any decision after that. And so it's not that we won't feel something about it, but we will understand and recognize the disturbance within our own mind. This channel isn't only about Stoicism, but it's definitely a big influence for me, and I hope that any of that could be helpful for you. Again, these quotes today are from Epictetus, and hey, I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. I'm new to this. This is kind of scary for me, but we're up above 500 subscribers, and that's a pretty cool thing. So thank you for being a part of this. I'm going to continue to put out content, and I'm looking forward to creating stuff more regularly. So, right on. Hope you're all doing well, and have a great Saturday.